Greetings. I'm George Buster Ryans with the Get To Free Press, and I stand with the Quad Squad, and I want to say that our President of these United States of America and the Commander-in-Chief of all members of our armed forces, that means and includes blacks, whites, Latinos, Japanese, Germans, and others that are serving in the armed forces of our beloved nation. He is the Commander-in-Chief of all of our armed forces, but he's being questioned more and more about whether he is a racist or not. We have the Republican Party, who are showing the world what a real democracy looks like here in our republic. America is getting uglier and uglier by the day. When the so-called patriots and lovers of this nation are sitting down on their backside, proving that they are on the wrong side of history. They try and justify the wicked ways of President Donald Trump. People hit me up on my YouTube channel and Facebook, and they call me prejudiced, playing the race card, a nigger, hate white people, a Martin Luther King wannabe, a Jesse Jackson lookalike, an outside agitator, and many more names they call me. But they will not call this president a racist and many other names for messing with underage girls. And before the nest is dumped over, it may come out publicly that he's involved with some of these other people who have been taking advantage of underage girls. Now we know that some people are going to go all the way with this president. There's nothing that he can do wrong in the eyes of some educated political figures in our nation. We even have those who are in the clique and among the slicks. We have fake news media outlets that are popping up everywhere, and they are giving their message, their messages. They think that if they tell the lie and the untruths without end on different conservative radio stations, that the American people will be duped by their lies, misinformation, and hidden racist ideologies. But what they fail to understand, and I say this unequivocally, they fail to understand the power of the real Jesus. They have been sitting down every Sunday and every Sabbath saying that they are worshiping the true and the living God of love, justice, equality, and inclusion. This is what they say. But God ordained this to be, in my opinion. God wants to show, especially the black man in America, who have been going to church, going to mosques, going to synagogues and temples, that the God they have been taught to believe in is fake. He's not the real God. The real God will not allow you to continue to hate the black man, black woman, black children, and all people of color. That is not the real God of creation, number one, and that is not the Jesus that we read about in all the holy books that came from good people who wanted to see and preserve the planet Earth for the righteous and all people of goodwill. The church, the mosque, the synagogue, the temple, and just common everyday folk have been gravely misled and taken advantage of. I am saddened to say that in 2019, a lot of so-called believers in God have been bewitched. Yes, they are bewitched. They are under the spell of the Leviathan. Let me say it again. They are under the spell of the Leviathan. But more and more people are waking up. Not only here in Georgia, but around the nation and around the world. And this is why they are cutting back even on Facebook. They are cutting back on YouTube, because social media is doing what mainstream news media have failed to do here in the United States of America. If you Google Boston GBR on YouTube, you will see where I have documented proof beyond any level of intelligence for all the world to see that there is a white pattern and practice here in the state of Florida, in the state of Georgia, and a few other states that I've traveled to, including New Orleans, that they are suppressing, intimidating, blocking, and removing blacks from office after they are elected in order to keep blacks out of positions of power. Some black people, along with white people, call me prejudiced. In fact, on Facebook, if you go to Kendrick Johnson Race Hoax, they say that I am on YouTube spreading white conspiracy theories. I am not what they say I am, and I'm not going to say to you what I am. But if you visit my channel, Boston GBR, if you go back to 1980s and 90s and even 75, it's still out there, you cannot find this black man, this retired military veteran, spewing out venom towards any life source. Not against the bears, the lions, the birds, the fishes, the trees. You will see me talking about life. Wicked systems that misinform, miseducate, and destroy God's living creatures. Look, when the Valdosta Daily Times, my local newspaper, and the local TV stations, the local radios, when they fail under what the founding fathers called the freedom of the press. When they fail to publish the beef of what takes place at public meetings in Valdosta, such as the city council meeting, board of education meeting, county commissioners meeting, and other civil rights meetings, when they fail to publish the concerns of black people, the force handed down from my black ancestors inspired me through the God of my understanding to pick up a camera and start reporting what they did not want you to know. I did not want all black people putting all white folk in the same bag of being a racist or disliking this country so much, and that they become hateful like these white people and Uncle Toms and Aunt Jane black folk that have shown the world how wicked they are. How wicked they are. Now they're gonna say that rhymes you are just prejudiced. That's why you're using that term. Look, I was not around in the year of 1555 when Sir John Hawkins, a slave trader, went into Africa with his ship and kidnapped, tortured, and murdered black folk and brought them a westerly course to North America. I wasn't around then. So don't blame that on me. But you can say that I am telling you about it. When I tell you about John Brown, a white man with the heart of the living God in terms of love, respect, and a desire for black people to be treated as more than 3/5 of a human being. That white man gave his life for the cause of the real Jesus, for the cause of the real God, for the cause of promoting a real religious denomination, or at least a symbol of what is right in God's world. And so I'm not going to be as small as the people that condemn me and call me all these names. For you will hear me say today, as I'm about to say, and I've said it for decades, and I'm not going to stop, regardless of the few wicked, racist, narrow-minded white folk who call me these things, and deep down, they know better. I've said to you, and I want to say it again today, but in closing, white people, Caucasians, European from Europe, to be more specific, in the ancient of days, the Caucasians, whose history came out of the Caucasus Mountains. That's why we call them Caucasians, because their descendants came originally from the Caucasus Mountains. These same Europeans kept the black man, woman, and children here in North America from reading, writing, doing arithmetic, being treated as full-fledged citizens. Now, that's not racism. That is not prejudice. That is not hate. That is not an outside agitator. That is not a Martin Luther King wannabe. That is not a Jesse Jackson wannabe. Look-alike. That is the historic archival truth. And if the white church care anything about truth, the white people who you see have cars parked outside of their church every Sunday, when you see those cars and you see nothing change in the community along the lines of equality, along the economic front, along the religious front, along the social front, along the just common educational front, and seeking all citizens to be treated and go to the best schools as white people want their children to go to, then that lets you know that they are not worshiping the same God that you are worshiping. You can call that racist. You can call that being prejudiced. You can call that the word from an outside agitator. But if you go to church and if you say that you love Jesus, if you say you love the God of right, righteousness, and holiness, you shouldn't have a problem with what I'm saying. You should bear witness with the truth that I'm speaking. And you're not going to make a fool out of me. And you're not going to make a fool out of the other God's true children. Because we have an unction from the Holy One. And we know the truth. And when you come after us, and when you lie on TV, and give us your tiny words, which seem big to you, you played those games yesterday. But we are living today in the fulfillment of divine prophecy. Now, if you believe that Donald Trump is going to lead America down the road of hate, and if you believe that he's going to win against God, if you think that President Trump is doing an excellent job as president of the United States of America, if you believe that leaders in foreign countries have the same respect for this man as they had for many of the other white European presidents, if you believe that, then once again I say to you, you are Satan yourself. Now, if you go to church and if you pray to your God will not tell you. Your God will not show you. Your God will not reveal to you that communist nations, dictators, and other foreign governments that we fought against are embracing the man that you love and support and voted for. And we have black folk, black people supporting this man. And he done told you so many times what he think of you, your children, and coming generation. What's the black lady name that supported him and all of a sudden God made her come out and tell the truth about this man called Trump? Omarosa. You see, she didn't come out because she wanted to. She came out because, like Ezekiel in the valley of dry bones, there was a hand upon her that made her came out. It was like Noah when God called him And that spirit was upon him to go out and do what he did, although he was criticized and ridiculed, threw rocks at him. Much like Daniel being thrown into the den of lions. But God was with him. When the Hebrew boys was thrown into the fire furnace, but God, that same hand was upon them. When Jesus went up, was led into the mountain to be tempted of the devil, it was that same hand in a different form that led him out into the wilderness to be tempted by the same devil. This was the same hand in the book of Job when the sons of God went to present themselves before the Lord and Satan came in among them. He looked like a Christian, smelled like a Muslim, walked like a Jew, and could hear like a Hindu. But there was an ECP God standing in the midst of time. Satan walking in, probably with a purple or scarlet robe on, looking like a Christian, smelling like a righteous, pretending that everybody else is wrong, but I'm right, so he marched on up. But somewhere the ECP God, that same hand, said, Satan, which comest thou? He said, well, God, you know, from coming to and fro and traveling up and down in the world, and, you know, but if you consider your servant Job, if you just take away some what they have, he'll cuss you to your face. So everything this president is doing, everything that the European white man is doing, everything that the Ashkenazi Jews are doing in the state of Israel against the Palestinians is to show the world where God is, to show the world where Jesus is, to show the world where his word is, to show the world that God is all powerful. And that same hand that appeared on the wall and wrote to Nebuchadnezzar, you have been weighed in the balance, and you have been found wanted. Most every nation of the world know that America espoused to the land of the free, the home of the brave. Give me your tired, your weary people, yearning to be free. Statue of Liberty, what we're talking about now. And now, so God is saying, if you have lied in my name, if you have lied in my name, now I'm going to show the world, America, I gave you nearly 300 years. I gave the European white man 460 some years in North America to show the world if they truly love me, my son Jesus, and those prophets, priests, and kings that travel that great land of Holy Divine. These are my closing remarks. When it comes down to shining the light on this man we call Donald Trump, it is a disgrace. It is indeed a total disgrace. As a retired military veteran, I say to you that it is indeed a disgrace from a distance for the people in America and the people around the world to see what is happening in our country. And the generals that are retired from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the commissioned officers who know that they serve in combat. Some of you bear the scars of the war of this nation. And you won't speak out against this wicked man called Donald Trump. You think, some of you think it's a game. Some of you all think it's gonna just blow away. But somewhere I read, 2 Chronicles 2:14, I think, something like that. But it says this: if my people, which are called by my name, would turn from their wicked way, then God will heal our land. But you who know better, such as myself, who served in the armed forces, know you took a code of conduct. I committed it to memory. Not just overseas in foreign lands, but that code of conduct says, I'm an American fighting man, prepared to give my life in the defense of my country, and that I would not take any special favors nor payroll from the enemy. And I go on to talk about that is from both foreign and domestic enemies. And if we have an enemy in the White House who are embracing the Soviet Union and Putin and North Korea and other dictators around the world, then that lets you know that many of our top service commissioned officers that have served this country and are serving now were not really patriots to this nation. Now, if you're asking me, why am I speaking out like this? It's because it was the white man that gave me that code of conduct in 1971 when the Vietnam War was going on. And if I would have been caught conversing with the communists, they would have called me in. And after I received my SSIR clearance that I received, top secret clearance, when I received that top secret clearance, and if I would have been in communication with Putin, the KGB, or any foreign nation of the world, they would have called me in. But you generals, you full-bird colonels, you lieutenant colonels, you majors, captain, first, second lieutenant, and top-level non-enlisted men, why don't you say boo? What is more sickening to this black man is how our active duty, disabled, retired military veterans, along with the parents of deceased children that died in combat, and they won't speak out like this to show the world that this man is seeking to destroy our republic. If you can't see that, my friend, you indeed is a Satan yourself. You are a Satan yourself. I'm asking the people of America, what is more sickening to this black man is how our active duty, disabled, retired military veterans, along with the parents of deceased children that died in combat, and they won't speak out like this to show the world that this man is seeking to destroy our republic. If you can't see that, my friend, you indeed is a Satan yourself. You are a Satan yourself. I'm asking the people of America, you can believe it or let it alone, but you will regret this day. Listen, America, you Republican senators, you Democratic senators, members, all 35 of you in the Congress, if you don't stand up, man and woman, and this country is overthrown from within, and you don't believe it can happen, but I'm here to tell you it can. We already know about the militias. We already know that the president have told you, but some of your eyes are too dim. Some of your ears are too weak to hear him when he said, not only there run a possibility that he would serve for the next 4 years, but he may run for the next 20 years. Yeah, that he may serve as president for the next 20 years. That means that him and Putin just may have a top secret and above document that we don't know nothing about. And maybe that's why he cannot criticize Putin, not even one time. Not even one time. He'll criticize the Quad Squad. How many times have he criticized the Soviet Union, Russia, Putin, and other dictators around the world? And so you can love this president, because I love him too. Because I believe that God is using him to show black folk once and for all that white people, many of them, don't give a damn about the brown-skinned human beings that was created by our God. And sooner or later, white people will see what they have done to destroy, in my opinion, and I've been around the world, you will see how you contributed to the downfall of the greatest nation ever put together by the God of our understanding. America, America, America. I plead with you, don't go down the road of ancient Rome. Black man, black woman, and black children. If the scriptures are right, if the Holy Quran is right, if the Jerusalem Bible is right, if the Vulgate is right, and if the Gita among the Indians have any wisdom in it at all, if we don't stand up today and be a reflection of the God we dip before, that means we duplicate, imitate, and placate. If we don't stand up, I'm talking about, and speak out against those who masquerade as patriots and as Christians, yet they have hatred, envy, strife, murders, hearsays, and the like. And because we are so wicked, we don't see the fruits falling from their corrupt tree. Because all those are bad fruits from a bad tree. But many of us don't give a heaven about it. But on the other hand, I want to thank you who are of another family that know about a person that come in love, joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance, humility, justice, equality for all. Those who want to even preserve the ocean. Those who want to try to end global warming. Those who want to stop the spread of nuclear weapons because, as Jesse Jackson said, one nuclear strike and we all lose. And I'm going to close with this note, and this is the closing note. I must believe in extraterrestrials because, personally speaking, I do not believe from what I see that the human beings on earth, I don't believe that they are the best, the smartest, the most educated, and most intelligent beings that the God of our ancestors could create. And I believe that the extraterrestrials, I believe that they are so far advanced over us until it may be necessary for them to destroy all of us, the black, the white, Latinos, Japanese, Chinese, together, because we've made a mess out of all of this. And before we blow up this earth and throw things out of orbit out in the universe, they will be forced to destroy all of us. God gave us a chance, y'all. We can't get it together. We rather hate. We rather kill. We rather value money over life. We rather contribute to lies brought to you by wicked preachers, pastors, imams, and politicians, and news sources. But when somebody brings you the truth, you tell them, get the hell away from me. I don't need you. I'm on my way to